The final StarCraft 2 stream, which every time I say that, I curse myself for there to be another stream. So for the love of God, let's have this be the final freaking shit. I mean, Yoshi's Island is probably going to be a better game, but I don't know. I haven't reviewed either of them yet. That's a good question. What do you say, Coin? Uh-oh. Bad news. So she did it. She won. She beat Valerian. GG. And yeah, that says everything it needs to, by the way. Right there. There's her motive. In a nutshell.
Psi emitters have been augmented by technology recovered from the Mobius Foundation. If discovered, it will trace back to Valerian Minsk.
I've accepted that my father is beyond redemption, and must be removed from power.
Yes, we are, Mr. Red. Kind of frustrating timing, but whatever.
Yes.
The Emperor has arrived, General. He wants to make his announcement soon.
Does he? We'll be watching closely. If anything goes wrong, your orders are to kill that boy.
There's not much time left, Emperor.
No. Everything must go exactly as we discussed. Davis's forces will be focused on my security escort, expecting us to try something. You need to infiltrate the facility while they're distracted, Nova.
I've got it covered.
Take Davis into custody and bring her to the balcony before the end of my speech. Then I'll announce her arrest to the Dominion.
She's not going to go quietly.
She won't have a choice after this. Nova, I'm counting on you.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm sending you, Nova, the specialist, to deal with this.
I've been running scans on Davis's compound. Unfortunately, their security appears to be quite thorough.
That's why they're sending me.
Indeed. Davis's communications have revealed that she'll be watching the speech from inside her office. However, you will have to take a long route through the compound in order to reach her.
So it's either stealth or full force. I'll gear up accordingly. How do I get inside?
Patrols are light in the sewers located below the building. You should be able to infiltrate the area without too much trouble.
No trouble at all.
To answer some questions really quick. Am I expecting anything from BlizzCon? Yes. Am I expecting anything good from BlizzCon? No. I've actually already given my BlizzCon predictions several times over the last week. Warcraft Rumble, Overwatch bullcrap, Diablo bullcrap, WoW Classic news I don't care about, and possibly some WoW news that I may or may not care about. That's it. Whoops. Didn't hit that button. Someone asked, Noctis asks, why is the 3D block before the 2D block? I like to do things in order. Like, if we did them timeline-wise, it wouldn't help the review process, because imagine trying to review Mario World alongside Mario 64. The two are just fundamentally different games in terms of how they operate, right? So, we have to have one of them be first and one of them be last, and I want to end the entire Mario block with Mario Wonder, which is a 2D game, which is best reviewed alongside New Super Mario Bros. U, which is the one right before it. So, 2D gets second, 3D gets first. Any questions?
After a long silence, Emperor Valerian has announced a press conference on the core world of Vardona. This follows his evacuation from the Core Hall Palace due to rising tensions during a protest. Some people believe that the Emperor is running from his responsibilities, while others feel that his departure is the first step to a peaceful resolution. We await his statement for more details.
Renewable Energy Conference scheduled on Core Hall. Yeah, no, Valerian knows what he's doing. I wouldn't say Davis is stupid because of her being loyal to Arcturus. Plenty of people are loyal to Arcturus. It didn't make him stupid. Hello, Dakota. What do we got that's new? The plasma rifle. Melts targets into superheated plasma that damages nearby enemy units. Can use plasma shot to damage enemies and create additional plasma. Good morning, Kieran. What's this? Oh, that's the holographic duplicate, which I don't want. Yeah, we've just got a Melta, for God's sakes. Let's go with that lineup. And that one. Let's do it. Unfortunately, good morning, by the way, Valerian. Unfortunately, I will not be capable of playing Mario Wonder with a friend because there's no online co-op. Negative to gameplay.
Confirm that last. I'm in.
Head toward these coordinates. They'll lead you into the rest of the compound.
All right. I'm counting on you to be my eyes down here. Executing. Got it. Loud and clear.
There's an interesting energy reading coming from this room. Take a moment to investigate it if you can.
Strictly business.
There's our enemy.
So, that's what the plasma rifle does.
Someone here.
Loud and clear.
For reference.
Is it fine? Follow my orders. Acknowledged. I'm in command. Listen closely.
Nice touch, by the way. The voice clips for the dominated unit is just Nova with some audio variants.
I'm in command.
No, Noctis. I don't really see a lot of purpose in doing so. And honestly, we've kind of already covered it, and it was actually a really, really bad stream. So, lesson learned.
Wait. There's a laser detector ahead of you. I believe a flashbang grenade could disable it.
I don't have any. But I bet this visor will get one of the defenders to do the job for me. I'm in command.
Open!
Good morning, Dark Day.
Listen.
Using your enemies against each other. An elegant solution.
Consider it done. I'm in command. Nova here. Got it. Listen. Say again. En route. I'm in command. I'm reading you.
Good question, Pika. I have no idea.
Listen closely. Status report. Consider it done. I'm in command.
A sensor drone is near your position, Nova. You can destroy it or keep your distance.
Sorry, what? Couldn't hear you over my Thor.
I'm reading you.
I see her.
Acknowledged.
Headachy, Elizar. How are you doing?
Strictly business. Got it.
Yes, she did,
You may need some
Dark Day.
additional equipment as you move forward, Nova. I planted a storage locker near your current position.
I'm starting to think you're sneakier than I am.
No, I'm good with this loadout. Although, actually, you know what I could do? There.
Loud and clear. I'm in command. Confirm that last. Got it.
Enemy sighted.
Acknowledged. Subjects down. On the move.
It's low. Let's see that.
You're almost out of the sewers, Nova. The exit is just ahead.
Anyways, I know exactly what caused the headache today, at least. That's nice.
Got it.
Someone's here.
I don't think anybody's actually going to watch the Mario block, to be honest with you.
Consider.
Maybe just my usuals, and that's it.
Acknowledged. Okay. I've reached the inside of the compound.
General Davis is still in her office. She's not taking any chances until the speech is finished. 2 security rooms are monitoring the door's locking mechanism. You'll need to get to them and override the controls before the Emperor finishes his speech.
There's our timer.
On it. En route.
You can also change loadout again. By the way, being able to change loadout mid-mission is
Here are
kind
the
of
locations
crazy
of the security rooms. Good luck, Nova.
on several levels.
I'm going to need it. Consider it done.
What was that?
Loud and clear.
The military research division
Oh,
here
okay.
was well funded. My scans show they might be storing equipment in these locations.
That's worth looking into. Strictly business. En route. I'll make it happen. That's better. En route. Loud and clear.
Okay. It looks like an area I could go into.
I'll make it happen.
Find the enemy.
Executing. En route.
These sonar drones are armed with EMP technology. Take caution not to disturb them, Nova.
No kidding. Business.
Watch where you're going.
All right.
Listen closely. Status report. En route. Got it. I see the security room, but I can't get into it.
Try controlling the guards who are already inside, then.
Make it happen.
Yeah, we finally have entered vent crawling in Starcraft.
On the move. Got it. Listen closely. I'm in command.
Do that again and I'll write you up. Open fire!
Status report.
Enemy's gone.
Executing.
Sufficient of difference to warrant the second review, yes, Speaker. It is a remake,
Loud and clear.
not a remaster and not a port.
Consider it done.
I sense something.
Listen closely.
Power I've not felt since...
I'm in command.
Enemy sight.
Confirm that last. Subjects down. I'll make it happen. En route.
Good morning, Eternus.
Consider it done.
Also, can I think of a bad 2D side-scroller Mario game? Oh my god. Bad 2D game.
Executing. Strict.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention back there.
Let's go with no.
I've detected something in your area, Nova. I believe it's a suit.
That sounds like it could come in handy. Follow my orders. Listen closely. No.
Sorry, a bad 2D Mario is what I was trying to say. I don't understand your question. If Kerrigan was never something by the Overmind, but still gained her Zerg power, would she still go and become the Supreme Zerg Primal? I don't know what you're asking me.
Listen closely. I'm in command.
Aw.
Nova here. I'll make it happen.
Actually, Super Mario Run is probably one of the better mobile games I've ever seen. Go figure.
Follow my orders. There. One of the control panels is set. Now for the other one.
That's true, Five. But, like, if we were going by that measure, then, you know, SMB1 would be a bad 2D Mario. You know?
I'll make it.
Thank you, Tiny Shroom. Oof! Always appreciate. I will jot that down for absolutely nothing. Unless you want to. You can pick up to 3 things.
Happen. Executing. Loud and clear. En route. Acknowledged. Strictly business. I'll make it happen. Follow my orders.
I mean, the story isn't terrible.
En route.
It's actually better than I remember.
Listen closely. Nova here.
Shrug, honestly.
I'm reading you.
Don't believe the hype,
I'll
Pika.
make it happen.
Would be my answer to that.
Executing. I'm in.
Just testing the system.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I was not actually expecting that to
Loud
happen.
and clear.
We might be dead. Well, alright, you know what?
Business.
Die in a fire. Of plasma.
On the move.
That's just... Anyways, if Kerrigan was never corrupted by the Overmind, but still gained her Zerg power, which would mean being corrupted by the Overmind. I still don't understand your question, if I'm being totally honest with you. Like, how does she become Zerg without the Overmind, exactly? If you mean just regular infested, then she's just a regular old infested, which doesn't mean anything, right? So, yeah, there's no...
En route.
There's no route here.
Executing. I'll make it happen. You should see this thing, Rigel. It's really impressive.
Do test it out when you have the chance.
En route.
Anyways.
Nova here.
I like how General Davis just has frickin' like, stalkers in her room, by the way. Did you catch that?
Loud and clear.
I mean, anyone could be infested. Except Protoss, obviously.
I'll make it happen. Consider it done. Strictly business.
Hey, you want to talk about nice touches? Valerian's screen, or speech, is on the frickin' television.
Loud and clear.
What's the new thing I just got? Teleportation suit. Sure. I lose my cloak, but I can frickin' blink.
got away.
Yep, that's what happened. Definitely nothing else.
Nova here. Consider it done.
So, if Metroid 3, 1 and 2, and 2 and 3 are not announced by the Medium Dark, but I consider doing the 2D Metroid games separate from the Primes. I actually have already considered that Metroid NR. So, I suppose the answer to that would be a yes. Absolutely. I'm not sure exactly where we're going to go with that, but it is something I'm thinking about.
On the move.
Davis's office is still on lockdown. You'll need to visit both of the security rooms to open it.
Strictly business. En route.
And yeah, Queen Nova is pretty much right up there with the Lich Queen concept
I'll make it happen.
from over in Warcraft.
Loud and clear. Acknowledged.
Must have been the wind.
Consider it done.
Move.
On the move.
Quicker than you're
I heard
moving.
they saw an intruder in the lower levels. Some kind of ghost. Damn. You serious?
Take
Got it. Loud and clear.
Yeah, remember,
On the move.
Abathur actually rebuilt Kerrigan when he
Got
was
it.
constructing the Queen of Blades. So it's not like she was just infested.
En route.
She was augmented.
Acknowledged.
Don't think too much about it.
Davis's forces were conducting advanced weaponry tests in this sector. Let's have a look at their findings, shall we?
Can't wait.
Open fire!
Strictly business. Rigel, I've gotten a hold of the
Okay, hang on. Yeah, Kerrigan was custom built, custom tailored into the Queen of Blades.
Can't wait.
Can't find her.
Strictly business. Executing. En route. I'll make it happen.
There's our enemy.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, she mentions during Heart of the Swarm that it was quite unpleasant.
Nova here. Acknowledged. Executing. Rigel, I've gotten a hold of the advanced weaponry. And there's a lot of it.
That's what I was hoping for.
Consider it done.
That's a
Loud
good
and clear.
question, Dakota, which I do not have an answer.
What was that? Open fire!
Say again?
I mean, actually, I suppose it does make a little bit of sense that as a result of
Listen closely.
the timing of it,
Status report.
the Overmind essentially could not avoid its programming long enough to make any other ones.
I get so nervous once the prototypes are complete.
We've had a lot of thefts lately, it's true.
Maybe we should just leave everything half finished.
But the problem with that theory is that assumes that the Zerg are too recent to the Terrans,
Got it.
who have not already made other Queen of Blades. And the problem with that theory is the Zerg have had, what, like a year and a half
Say
of
again?
exposure to the Terrans before
Execute.
the events of StarCraft 1.
Who is that?
So that doesn't work at all.
I'll make it happen.
Kill her!
En route. Consider it done.
Sure, now you let me up here.
Acknowledged. Strictly business.
Sorry, there was Guild Wars 1. I saw that in there. Guild Wars 1. And Cody W12 is putting it towards dealer's choice. Thank you, Cody, very much. I don't actually remember the specifics of how long they knew each other. We do actually have a functional timeline. I just don't remember the specifics, like I said.
I'll make it happen.
Yeah, we know that there was at least some... Jesus Christ. Zerg exposure to the Confederacy.
Here's the second room. You know what to do next.
Hell, she's gone already.
Acknowledged.
Davis's office is open. You are clear to make the arrest.
Wait, there's a psionic presence there. It seems familiar. Status report.
I'm sorry, hang on. Pause. So, we knew that the Zerg were known. They didn't know what the swarm was, but they knew what the alien beasts of the Zerg were. And the Confederacy had pretty much immediately started experimenting with the psi emitters because the initial Zerg incursions into the Cthulhu sector were always targeting ghosts under the Confederacy, and that's how the Confederacy knew to start working on the psi emitters. So, enough exposure for that to happen, for them to start capturing Zerg and experimenting with them, and to develop the plans for the psi emitter. We also know that the Protoss had been there at least a little bit. We also know that the Protoss had shown up at least once before and then basically just left without saying anything, because that was the Protoss's usual operating procedures. Like, oh, there's another race here. Okay, they're lesser life forms, and then they just left. This is a very good mission. I'm probably not getting it across properly because I just apparently can't string two thoughts together today. But there's a whole lot of wonderful, actually, level design, which I know you're saying, of course it is, it's a level, but no. I mean, like, more in the sense that there are stealth games I have played, or like games like Dishonored or Thief, or even games like Far Cry, which could take lessons from this map that we're playing right now. Almost every target area has, as near as I can tell, at least 5 separate routes you can take in order to reach them. And those routes aren't mutually exclusive, and you're not locked in once you start. So you can kind of mix and match or mishatch, or if something goes wrong, you can take another route, or you can change your thing. Yet you've got tons of tools to obtain this, and the level is designed to complement all of those tools. That's why the equipment loadout thing is in the stage. Yeah, you can go very loud, you can go quiet, and you can go everything in between at any given point in time. This is an extraordinarily well-designed stage. I have no idea, Eleazar. Probably not.
Done.
Like, she would have no reason to, so, you know, probably not.
Got it. En route.
So, yeah, I'm gonna go with no.
Strictly business.
Oh, and I have a pet Thor. It's always nice.
I knew I'd see you again.
Stone, what happened?
You deserted me and sided with the Dominion to murder your former comrades. Guess I'm next.
They've altered your memories. This isn't you.
We are who we choose to be. And you chose this.
Okay, time for Metal Gear Solid, boss.
I'm going to have to get him out of the way.
Well, let's get him out of the way. Kong, Kong, Kong.
I don't want to kill him. I'll have to weaken him until he can't fight anymore.
That seems more than fair, under the circumstances.
I'll make it happen. Consider it done. Listen closely.
You were the best of us, Nova. Why betray us?
He's down. Rigel, you have to send someone to help him.
Of course. For now, you should focus on Davis.
Yeah, I don't want to kill him. That's what my Thor's for.
Davis, the Emperor has requested your presence. And if I refuse, you won't.
Because I can mentally dominate people. So, you know. Thank you, Fife, very, very, very much. Yeah, I found Stone's quote amusing. It's like, we are who we choose to be. And it's like, you're a ghost, dude. You don't get choices. By design. So this is going towards the... New. Luigi block. And FF7 to 12 audit block. You got it. Thank you. As always, Fife. You don't choose to trim your nail length. Yeah. But yeah, no, extremely good mission. A very replayable mission, too, which is just kind of even better than that. Name of that mission? In the Enemy's Shadow. We found 2 optional things, but I don't remember a secret now. Well, hang on. To Google. Google's for. Google is for Dark Day, apparently. Jesus, Valerian. The Zerg Zombie Tal'Darim Nova mission. I'm gonna go with no. Thank you very, very much, Dark Day. Not, yeah. I don't actually know what else to add to that. To be totally honest with you. That's, yeah. I will jot that down. For Dragon Quest 11. Dim block and the BRPG block. Thank you, Dark Day.
Acknowledged.
No, I never got any answers from you for yesterday, Dark Day. So I've got them sitting right there.
En route. Consider it done. Executing.
Yes, I need the suit I have on. Cool, cool. You might have put it in the question bot, but I sure as hell didn't see it.
Acknowledged.
And the question bot has been cleared. So, you got it. So I'll add that. So that's Breakfast 11. And Doom Block. You got it. Ah! Well, it frozen, Mike Romano. It's not lost. It's not even gone.
Executing.
Nice visuals.
Consider it done.
No, thank you, Dark Day. For real.
Loud and clear.
Sit comfortably in a lotus position. When you breathe in, count to 10. Breathing out, count to 12. Imagine clouds, angels, the sun, and bunnies on your feet. Giggle internally and let your soul light shine. You are beautiful. You are meant to be in this world. You are not trash. Love yourself. Hug yourself. But don't let anyone see.
Strictly business. En route. On the move. Is this weapon meant to be a gun or a sword? I think it's both.
Yep, we are now in the Final Fantasy land. Let's go fight that boss again.
Confirm that last. Consider
Hey,
it.
Nero's. For my kimono, we're going to put that towards the Railway Empire, the RPG block, Nick Simpson's Streamination. You got it. Thank you, my kimono. As always.
Acknowledged.
So yeah, final weapon. The Blaze Fire Gunblade. It's even got a revolver cartridge? Loading chamber? Whatever that's called. Considered wildly unconventional, the Blaze Fire Gunblade represents a school of thought amongst artisan gunsmiths that the perfect weapon can engage well in all engagements. Designed as both a gun and a blade, it can only be wielded by the most accomplished of martial artists.
Got it. Loud and clear.
Yeah, I mean, the super attack is called Fury of One, for God's sakes. If you don't understand what I mean by that, well, you will in a second.
I'm in command. Confirm that last. On the move. Listen closely. I don't want to kill him, but I'll have to weaken him until he can't fight anymore.
That seems more than fair, under the circumstances.
As you can see, it's literally a freaking Omni-Slash.
He's down. Rigel, you have to send someone to help him.
Also one-shot the boss.
For now, you should focus on Davis.
I'm reading you. Davis, the Emperor has requested your presence.
And if I refuse?
Yeah, by the way, for those of you not aware, in FF13, the ultimate ability of Lightning, who uses a gunblade, is Army of One. If I could meet any dead president of the U.S., who would I pick? Trump! Oh, wait, no. Buchanan, so I could beat the crap out of him.
The Dominion has always had a strong leader. Stepping into my father's role was challenging, and I often relied on others to support me. As General Davis did, when the Defenders of Man began spreading disinformation about my response to the Zerg attacks. I take these allegations seriously. My administration has completed a thorough investigation of the Defenders of Man. The truth is, they used psi emitters to incite the Pharaoh Zerg to attack, and they have executed unprovoked strikes on the Protoss as well. Our evidence is undeniable. The orders we recovered were issued by none other than General Carolina Davis.
What is with the glitching?
Under arrest and charged with treason against the Terran Dominion. I look forward to announcing the trial date shortly.
Well, that's a lot of dead people.
Get everyone out.
Oh, the Defenders of Man. So this is your little base of operations. The Tal'Darim will wipe you from the face of this world.
Thanks, Davis.
Could have prevented this if only you'd listened.
You have fulfilled your purpose, Terran. These pests will die in agony, just as we agreed.
No, that wasn't the deal.
Leave, or you will perish with them.
Cool. Hey, Mockingbirds, how you doing?
Our enemies outnumber us on both sides. We need more forces to hold this city against the Tal'Darim.
Several defenders of Man squadrons have contacted us, Emperor. It seems the lower ranks weren't aware of Davis's real agenda. Your speech opened their eyes, and they will fight the Tal'Darim with us.
That's a start. We can rely on their outposts to hold the front line for a time, while we focus on getting our reinforcements ready.
I'll join them. I can keep the Tal'Darim scattered on the edges of the city, away from our bases.
We should also deploy liberators and siege tanks to strengthen our positions, and perhaps an SCV or two for repairs.
You always think of everything, Rigel. We're going to need all of it to get through this.
I would say this is not quite out of character. It's not like full character assassination. It's more like they took Alarek's character and exaggerated it in a way that doesn't really make sense. You know who would have made a lot more sense here? That stupid twit we kept beating up amongst the Tal'Darim. Not Alarek, the subservient one. I can't remember her name. If she was here doing this attack, that suddenly makes perfect sense. I have decided to cleanse the defenders of man all on my own. I will prove myself to the High Lord, or supplant him. Right? That would line up perfectly. Instead, Alarek doing this is just kind of like, you're a smart Sith, Alarek. That's kind of your shtick, is that you have a brain.
Dominion officials have declared that Vardona is in a state of emergency after Protoss forces began attacking the planet. Emperor Valerian and several high-ranking officials are caught in the crossfire. The Emperor was revealing evidence against the Defenders of Man and their alleged leader, General Davis, when the Protoss struck.
In fact, I would go so far as to say that probably is at least in consideration for negative worthy, because it's kind of an excuse thing, and it's so easy to avoid. Because again, all you'd have to do, the only change you'd have to make, is just make it so that it's her instead of him, and then we're cool. We have to fight the Protoss in this mission. We still get the same general construct of a layout and fighting the Tal'Darim. But instead it's Alarek who's just like, I have decided to be evil. Mwah! Dead puppies! I mean, come on. I'm sorry you're getting fired, Mockingbirds. Unless it's a good thing, in which case I'm happy you're getting fired, Mockingbirds. I just want good things. What do you want from me? What did we get?
We'll be able to construct battle cruisers on our next mission, Nova. I've developed upgrades for them, if you're interested.
Oh my god, giving battle cruisers a straight up AoE. Yeah. That just... Yep, no. Who completely screwed with my equipment loadout?
I am quite proud of that one.
Davison was like, blah, ha, ha. I'll give her suboptimal loadout, and that'll completely screw with her. We'll go with that. Oh, for Christ's sakes. What? What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? There. Liberator is an aerial siege tank, which I'm actually not a huge fan of, to be totally honest. Which is why you haven't really seen me use them. Liberators, so they're flyers, obviously, but they have to deploy just like a tank. The difference is a siege tank will attack anything in range. Liberator, you have to select, this is where I want it to attack. A little bit more micro, but arguably better than a siege tank in terms of actual output. Oh, there we go. The Overdrive Bar, a seedy but beloved landmark. Claims the structure itself has seen better days, but its patrons sure haven't. The Verdona Natural History Museum, often called the best in the Dominion, the Verdona Natural History Museum is widely known for its preserved Ultralisk skeleton, affectionately named Fritz. Good night, Dark Day. Yes, Triaxia. Negative to story. Probably Sirius Black. Oh, there was definitely supposed to be more. Remember, this is the prologue.
I'm reading you.
Need something.
Enemy forces are moving down the central streets in these locations. Additionally, I've summoned the Dominion fleet to help us, but it'll be some time before they arrive. Once they're here, our battle cruisers will have no problem blasting through the Tal'Darim. Until then, you've been cleared to build your own.
We already have the plans. First, we must construct a fusion core. Then the ships themselves will require a vast number of resources.
Never thought beating Alarak would come cheap.
Wow, there's Fritz.
What's going on? Moving. SCV ready.
You know, my favorite unspoken thing about Davis's motivations, it is heavily implied that, you know, because of who Mengsk is and because of who Davis is, that he never loved her like she loved him, but put very, very bluntly.
What's that?
That this is kind of a, you know, oh, you just don't understand kind of a deal. And yet, if Mengsk was actually alive, his reaction to Davis would probably be like, who? Oh, Davis, right. Yes, thank you for your loyal service.
Absolutely.
She keeps a freaking photo of him and her, like,
Say again?
on her goddamn desk. I don't know what else to add to that, you know?
SCV ready. Man, big job, huh?
Right. Speaking of which, hang on. In the enemy's shadow. Several people were assuming she was Valerian's mother, but no, she's dead. The mother, not Davis.
SCV ready.
Easy. Incoming Nate's... Ah, Commander.
What's the name of this mission, Nerazos?
Full speed.
SCV ready.
Perfect.
Tal'Darim Immortals are advancing on our position. They'll carve through our forces unless we stop them.
Leave it to me.
So here's how Liberators deploy. They just kind of siege in the air.
SCV ready.
And I guess we'll just sit there for a minute. Okay, so wake up, Laura, wake up. Ain't too tired lately.
I can't build here. SCV ready.
I was actually considering unit cost when it came to the unit reviews earlier, but no, I haven't really been mentioning it that much because, as you say, it's mostly reasonable. So hey, go figure. So we're gonna go full. No, we're gonna go full battle cruisers this time, just for funsies.
SCV ready.
That would make more sense, yes, Sectav.
SCV ready.
Add-on complete.
Yeah, there's been several missions where we've run into the food cap, and that's...
Status report.
Yeah, it is actually an engine limitation. Probably the only bad thing about this absolutely amazing engine is the fact that it can only handle so many actors at a time.
I'm reading you.
SCV ready. Will do. Roger. SCV ready. Go ahead. Gotcha. What's going on?
I've ordered the Defenders of Man to build up their fortifications in the side streets. The Tal'Darim will probably strike these areas soon. Your support would be welcome, Nova.
Working on it.
SCV ready.
I'll be there.
Got freedom?
There, hang on.
As you say.
My scans show Tal'Darim void rays gathering for an attack from the left.
I'll cut them off. Thanks, Rigel.
Yes, sir. We have you on screen. Easy. Moving into position. Full speed. Perfect.
Big job, huh? I'm going.
What do you think of the sound, the remixes we've been hearing? Almost every song in this mission, in this mission pack, excuse me, is unique.
Add-on complete.
But also remixed, so not completely new music.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, no, the doodads in this mission... honestly, the doodads in a lot of these missions are just... Like, look at this cityscape for a second. Really take a moment to just chew that in. Like, I particularly love this. There's a ship, a cargo ship, in an obvious harbor dock thing. And you've got the...
perimeter fall, the Protoss attack forces can converge, and we'll have a hell of a fight on our hands.
They'll also destroy the Dominion Research Center in this vicinity. I heard they were on the verge of a breakthrough.
You get my point. It's cool. Moving
Status
on.
report. I'll do my best to keep it safe.
I just... As they just insist that I can't talk or show off this stuff.
Ah! You scared me! SCV ready.
Be careful, Nova. More enemy void rays are flying in from the right side.
Nova, why are you helping these vermin?
There are innocent people here. You already know that. You just don't care.
Complete.
I mean, valid? This would make more sense if this was some kind of prelude to something else, instead of just being like, and then I will make a puppy die.
First squadrons in the Dominion fleet have arrived, and will begin supporting our defenses. Our Gorgon-class battlecruisers are particularly effective against heavy resistance. Give the call, and I'll command them to clear an area.
SCV ready.
So, we can call left lane, middle lane, and right lane, and we've got a 3-minute cooldown on any of them. We're actually going to call one down. No, we're fine, actually. We're fine.
SCV ready. SCV ready.
All hands to battle stations.
Yeah, as I say, what was the achievement for this one? A lot of achievements I don't have. Intelligence, Paradise, Night Terrors, Flashpoint, Shadow, Dark Skies, there it is. Destroy 333 units with Nova. Yeah, okay. So anyways, we're gonna ignore that forever and ever.
SCV ready. Huh? Bad news? Big job, huh? SCV ready. SCV ready.
No, here's this. I don't see anything really negative worthy about that.
A group of immortals is approaching the central entrance to our base. Call down a Gorgon if you can, Nova.
Fire! Perfect.
Check it out. LNT. I don't know what that stands for.
Moving into position.
Something cool, I'm sure.
As you say.
SCV ready. SCV ready.
Who called in the fleet?
Incoming orders.
You hear?
SCV ready. SCV ready.
Loose, natural, and traitor.
Oh, really?
I don't know what that means. Oh, geez, that's wild. Look at that new, like, flashing thing in the middle there. Oh, these ones also have the tack jump, which I believe is infinite range. And I am correct.
Okay.
Jesus.
Yes, Commander.
Late night terrazine. For all your study needs.
Roger. Engage. Take it slow.
Of course, they give us the tack jumpers on this mission. That makes a lot of sense.
Squadron on route. Well, what is it? Who called in the fleet?
Yeah, so now we have paddle cruisers. Ho, ho, ho.
Patching you through. Yes, Commander. Will do.
Do you notice they can also fire while moving, like they're Diamondbacks, by the way? Just a little fun factoid on top of everything else here. It is slightly different, as all of Nova's units are a little bit different. It's a different skin, for all intents and purposes.
How can we help?
Patching you through. Whatever that means.
Insufficient Vespine gas.
Take caution. Wrathwalkers are coming in from the left side.
I'm on it, don't worry. That's true, they haven't been like, abandoned ship!
Insufficient
SCV ready.
I'm gonna watch, that's what we're gonna hear in just a second.
In the fleet. Yes, Commander.
SCV ready. SCV ready.
No, agreed, Eternus, absolutely.
Squadron en route.
It's a shame it took until the second to last, I think, if I'm keeping track correctly, of all of the, of every mission of all of StarCraft 2 to finally get there. But hey, they got there. That's something.
Squadron en route.
Only 392, 421, 684, 715, 775. God, inflation's wild on this planet. Look at the car. Someone even left it with its doors open.
I'm on it.
Yeah, no, there is. I have spoken ill of this mission pack, and for reasons which I stand behind. But this mission pack is legit. It really needs to be mentioned.
It's a trap.
There's some very
More Wrath Walkers are moving to intercept.
there's some very real expansion effect going on here.
Okay. Whatever that means.
Big job, huh?
Well,
Yeah, Valerianomics. Ugh, thanks, Valerian. Screw it. Let's just do this. Just so you can see it. So, there's the Gorgon. It is exactly as terrifying as it should be.
The remainder of the Dominion fleet has reached our position, Emperor.
At last. Ensure they fill in the weak points in our defenses. You should also transfer General Davis to one of the brigs. She must be kept under maximum guard, no matter what happens.
Of course. I'll see to it.
take it slow. Engage. Course laid in.
So the Gorgon is exactly as terrifying as it should be. It's pretty much this particular lane is covered for a few minutes button.
Squadron en route.
Oh, probably a ton, Triaxia. Yeah, no, it's also slow, which is actually good for once. Think of it like a really slow-moving wave that's just cleaning a particular sewer drain. Just... Nah, I don't really need the minerals. I got 12,000 banked right now. I'm just going to leave them on repair.
Squadron en route.
Yeah, let's actually set up a new repair spot up here. Follow me, SCVs.
You have defied
Yeah, her.
again. Such stupidity, even for a Terran.
Janara. I guess Alarak won't fight his own battles.
Go ahead. What's going on?
You hailed?
We were just talking about you, lady.
What's going on? Gotcha.
Confirm that last. Got it.
And now I present to you the SCV Swarm.
Well,
It's not as many SCVs as I would like, but whatever. Alright, so.
acknowledge.
Yeah, the fact that Alarak does actually fight his own battles and was irritated, it's just whatever. Whatever. I'm done complaining about it. We gave it the negative. Moving on.
Is she finally gone?
I don't think so. But there are still Mortal Dareem attacking. Our fight has not ended.
It's a trap. Take it slow. Squadron en route. Course laid in. Roger. Course laid in.
You wonder what's going through the head of the Terrans when they see that fleet just literally warp in over their heads. I mean, the battlecruiser Deathball is a little bit more viscerally enjoyable. I mean, look at that. Just look at that beauty.
Yes, sir.
Also, this one can teleport at infinite range. Once every 45 seconds, I think? Something like that. Also easier to repair, that's true.
Who called in the fleet?
Sorry, 1 minute. 1 minute cooldown to teleport. And shunk.
It's a trap. Squadron en route. Yes, sir. Engage.
I mean, yeah, if we're holding off against the Tal'Darim fleet, then this is not the real Tal'Darim fleet. This is not the Death Fleet.
This whole time, Alarak has been testing me. I will not fail.
You say that.
Lara is leading the rest of the Death Fleet toward us, Nova.
We'll finish this, one way or another.
Engage. Engage. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I actually do admit they probably shouldn't have numbers, but obviously whatever. Hey, could you help clean that up, please? Thank you. Hey, could you help clear that up, please? Thank you.
I'm on it. Okay. Course laid in.
Mineral field depleted.
Tal'Darim casualties are high. We've forced them to accept defeat.
There were losses on our side as well. Recall our ships, Horner. We need to get back to Core Hall.
One of the ships isn't responding. The Medusa. They had Davis in custody there.
My scans show the Medusa has already left orbit.
Then she escaped. Return to your ship, Nova.
Convenient.
Much to discuss.
Dark skies. More positives everywhere.
I do not take kindly to betrayal, Terran. You've made a powerful enemy today.
So have you.
Have I now? Your hubris is quite entertaining.
Don't come back.
So there's your dangling plot thread for our future villain. That will never be followed through.
The Tal'Darim are warping out, but the damage is done. Now it will be even harder to convince the people that aliens are not a threat.
That's why the Defenders of Man attacked the Protoss in the first place. Davis will go to any length to gain public support, no matter how many innocent lives it costs.
Those were my father's tactics. Davis will answer for this, Nova. Track her down and bring her in to stand trial for her crimes.
Bring her in! We've tried that. It didn't work. There's only one way to stop her.
No. I have publicly declared that Davis is to stand trial in a court of law. Bring her back alive, Nova.
Yes, Emperor.
Nova, our orders are quite clear.
Actually, I'm also with Valerian here, to be honest. if she was a bit bigger of a threat, it would make more sense to focus on killing her. But yeah, for some reason, Nova just is kind of anti-Valerian, even though he's pretty consistently right, decent, affable, diplomatic, and intelligent.
Davis was on. But here's a distress call from the Cerro shipyards. A Dominion vessel is firing on the rest of the fleet.
It's her. Get us there quickly.
The Cerro shipyard is a strategic point for the Dominion. Gorgon battlecruisers are repaired here after taking damage in combat. The shipyard's coordinates are classified, but Davis is aware of them, and the top-ranking defenders still support her.
But what is she planning on doing?
It looks like she left her ship to activate the Xanthos. It's an experimental war machine with an array of heavy assault weapons.
You've actually already seen this in co-op
Use it
mode.
to finish off the fleet.
Kind of.
Valerian can't hold on to the Dominion without these ships. How can I take it down?
The Xanthos features prototype armor plating that will repel direct attacks. But if you target its weapons individually, you can bring them offline and force her retreat. The Xanthos will be vulnerable to attack while it's repairing. They'll likely retreat to a secure area during the process. Breaking through their fortifications and striking then is your best chance to destroy it, Nova.
Of course. It always comes down to me.
So, final mission. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to lock down the guessing game basically now. It's not exactly the same, but it's pretty similar, Luke. To be slightly more accurate, the hybrid one is based on this one, because that mission came out after this mission.
After a grueling battle, the Dominion military has defeated the Protoss invasion fleet on Bardona. Eyewitnesses claim that many of the defenders of man fought alongside the Dominion, indicating that their loyalty may have returned to the Emperor. However, General Davis has escaped custody, and Dominion officials are offering a reward for any information on her whereabouts.
Former Defenders of Man fighters claimed they were misled, by the way, as one of the news ticker things. Let's go with that one. I do like how this gets across the size of the thing. You can see the SCVs down there. And remember, SCVs are actually pretty big. Probably known as. You really can tell... I hate to keep hitting the same point over. You can tell this was supposed to be part 1 of like 15. They were setting up a whole lot of future plot threads to follow through on. How many years ago did this come out? 6, I want to say?
The Xanthos is currently located here, Nova. Admiral Horner has positioned his forces around the docked battlecruisers. Also, I thought it would be useful to listen in on the Defenders' communications again.
Prepare to move out. We will die for Arcturus before we serve his murderer.
Uh-huh. Honey, just because you haven't been able to get your icy crevice serviced recently doesn't mean you just get the right to go and mass murder people.
In the rear with the gear.
By the way, check out that backdrop. I think I say without hyperbole, I think this is actually one of the better backdrops we've seen in this game. There's just other platforms with other units and buildings and ships in the background as part of the frickin' skybox. They're 3D, too.
It appears we have company.
See?
It's the ghost who escaped.
Look at that.
Of course it is. We'll handle her.
Love it.
I'm reading you. Got it.
That's true. Mass Effect 3's intro background stomps this, obviously. What's the name of this stupid mission? Endgame, I think. Alright, like I said, I am chopping off the guessing game now. This is the final mission. Weird mission to end on. Hey, people in the background. God. I'm sorry, I missed the question, Loke. If you don't mind repeating yourself.
In the rear, bad news.
Well, we can make battle cruisers, so I don't see a lot of reason to make anything else.
SCV ready.
I mean, bio balls are fun, and tank groups are cool, and glass are neat, but no, let's just get some friggin' battle cruisers going. Who's with me?
SCV ready. Yep. Well,
Nova here.
SCV ready.
Loud and clear.
Add-on complete.
Consider it done.
SCV ready.
On the move. Executing.
SCV ready. In the rear with the gear. Bad news. Ah! You scared me!
Yeah, I remember this mission being a bit of a slog, so we've got a few minutes, but... I don't mean slog in a bad way, I shouldn't use that word. I remember this mission taking a minute. It's a
Big job.
neutral way to put that.
SCV ready. Sure thing.
Not enough minerals.
Move the Xanthos out to strike a Gorgon shortly.
SCV ready.
So all we know about the Gorgon is that it's better for bombardment, because every time the Gorgon is actually relevant, it's there to bombard the hell out of the ground. It's also supposed to be ridiculously huge, like Executor size, you know, SSDs from Star Wars. That is unfortunately all we really know. It only really shows up like 4 times, I want to say. Something like that. Not very often, in other words.
SCV ready. Huh?
My scans show the Xanthos moving toward a Gorgon. Get ready to counter it. Its weapons array is powering a flamethrower and an armor-piercing railgun.
Executing. En route.
SCV ready.
By the way, that's that ability, to really show that off properly. Nova, could you attack the target? There you go.
Ready.
Notice we can't target it, but we can target its stuff, but they count as flying units. For a bit of
Loud and
perspective.
clear.
Nope. Okay, cool. Okay, hang on. I can do better than that. Smaller, Blade Jamal. Smaller than the Spear of Adun. The Spear of Adun is silly big. The Spear of Adun's bigger than Leviathans, and Leviathans are miniature moons.
Say again. Execute.
SCV ready.
I'll give it my best shot.
Nuclear missile ready.
Loud and clear. Consider it done. Executing.
Not do the kind of damage I was hoping it would.
I'll make it happen.
That's okay. We took out the flamethrower. There goes the
Head
rail
back
gun.
for repairs. We'll return with greater firepower.
Okay, round 1.
Xanthos is vulnerable now, Nova, but you'll have to fight your way to it.
Go ahead. Uh-huh. Ah! You scared me! SCV ready. Got it. Huh? SCV ready.
You know, that's a good question, Ace. I don't know. Oh, you know what?
This is Hyperion Actual. We're readying an assault on the Defenders' forces guarding the Xanthos.
Sounds like a party. I'll bring some reinforcements.
Yeah, me. So, hear me out for a second. What if they originally wanted it to be a walker mech, and then they ran into physics, and they were like, okay, give it jets, give it engines. And that was their, like, compromise.
Strictly business. Acknowledged.
SCV ready.
I hope. I mean, this is the last mission, Eternus. This is the end. This is the outro. The last of StarCraft 2 that I'll ever play, ever, ever, ever.
On the move.
Yeah, my ship is backing me up here. It's always nice to have that.
SCV ready.
Strictly business. Got it. En route.
Ah! You scared me! SCV ready. Go ahead.
Nova here.
Exactly, Ace.
Acknowledged.
SCV ready.
On the move.
Yes, Commander.
SCV ready.
En route. Executing.
Patching you through.
SCV ready.
Course laid in.
Ready another attack. We've already taken too long.
By the way, do you notice her big strategy here is she understands that she can't take over the Dominion? So all she's just trying to do is cause as much damage as she can before she leaves. Like, this is the definition of petty and spiteful.
Nuclear missile ready.
Davis is navigating the Xanthos to a Dominion Gorgon. They've activated a new bay capable of deploying air superiority fighters.
Damn, that actually sucks.
In the rear with the...
You hailed?
Status
SCV ready.
Yeah, she continues to fail at her own goal, too. She pulls a me.
Nova here.
Speaking of which, let's see how bad this is.
SCV ready.
Acknowledged.
Each time she goes out with another bay, which makes it harder to get rid of her, of course.
SCV ready.
I'll make it happen. Got it.
That's enough. We need repairs.
Well,
Not to make too point on it, but you notice I did that entirely with Nova, right?
you hailed?
Insufficient Vespine gas.
That's not bragging, I'm just pointing out how she kind of sucks.
Insufficient Vespine gas.
Come on, a little bit more.
SCV ready. Huh?
I did use a nuke, but, I mean, it... Honestly, nukes aren't that great in this game.
SCV ready.
I'm leading another charge against the Xanthos. You're welcome to join in, Nova.
I feel like he's almost being passive-aggressive. Are you gonna join me, Nova? You gonna do anything over there? What I should do, actually. Let's do this.
SCV ready.
On the move.
Oh, this is also another wonderful mission. Enemy retreats. Every additional wave, she does more damage. She has weak spots, which can be knocked out, which not only cause her to retreat, but also limit her ability to attack, so you can kind of decide which attacks you want to prioritize getting rid of. Periodically, the Hyperion helps you out. The ally defends and reinforces their own forces. You have 2 resource nodes in order to pull from, and you have full access to your layout in order to do whatever you want to here. This is another very good mission, as is their wont.
Bad news?
Add-on complete.
Nuclear arsenal operational, General.
Good. You are authorized to strike the enemy.
Got it.
Also, Nova herself can be very mobile, as I'm pointing out. I don't think it's negative worthy, to be honest with you.
Loud and clear.
It's certainly there, but I don't know, I've seen a lot worse. Hello, game. That was strange.
Loud and clear.
Hi.
Acknowledged. Follow my orders. I'm in command.
Yeah, go die for a bit, would you?
Say again?
What is it?
It is, and I thought about it earlier, but no.
Big job, huh?
We need to assault another Gorgon soon. That ghost will use any delay to her advantage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you never know what I might be up to.
The Hyperion needs time to recover from that. We're leaving for a bit, Nova.
Nova here.
I mean, in fairness, I am getting a battlecruiser fleet going, so what the hell do I know?
Who called in the fleet?
Execute a strike now. Valerian has no right to command his father's fleet.
The Xanthos is getting into position for an attack, Nova.
Upgrade complete.
Take it slow.
Now she's got a missile battery. Ho, ho, ho. But yeah, with that AoE thing I picked up earlier, well, this is actually why I picked it up. So we can hit every single one of her weapon cargoes simultaneously.
Weapon systems are failing.
Ah! You scared me!
Yeah. Listen, you don't understand the evil that Valerian is. He betrayed my one true love.
Yep.
A genocidal madman who killed billions.
Who called in the fleet?
Indirectly, so you know.
Yeah.
How much that counts, you know, that's up to you.
We're setting a course for the Xanthos, Nova. Hope to see you there.
She is not his mother, although that would fit, I do agree. It would make it wonderfully amusing, if nothing else.
Boy.
Upgrade complete.
Yeah, we're aware of his mother. I would have to literally Google his mother's name, because it's so irrelevant. But she's dead. She's been dead for a while.
Go, go, go!
That's right, Nero's ass. How dare he? He must die.
Engage.
All things related to him must die. So yeah, the Hyperion backed up by an entire fleet of battlecruisers. Well, a line of battlecruisers.
Take it slow.
I think someone said some dialogue there, but then I killed them? My bad. I'd say I didn't mean to, but I mean, you know.
Upgrade complete.
Oh, she lost one.
Oh, really? What is it? Yes, Commander.
In the rear with the gear. Bad news? Sure thing. You're the boss. Yeah. Big job, huh?
Like I said, Eternus.
Yes, Commander.
battlecruisers are silly. Alright, back to Wake. We're not even fully upgraded yet.
Nuclear launch detected.
Okay.
Will do. Who called in the fleet?
Upgrade complete.
Patching you through.
Move the Xanthos out to strike a Gorgon shortly.
Is the Hyperion still pushing? The Hyperion is still pushing. That's funny.
Someone get Swan. We need to patch up our ship.
Acknowledged.
There isn't much time. Head to a Gorgon.
The Xanthos is getting into position for an attack, Nova.
Yeah, but I really want this starport to die. It's a stain on my map that I want to not be there anymore. Also, we can teleport, so, you know. Oh, hasn't gotten a new ability yet. We might have capped already.
We're taking too much damage. Fall back.
Well?
Well, there's the Dominion bases.
You hailed?
Excuse me. Excuse me. The Defenders of Man. I'm so used to thinking of the Terran bad guys as the Dominion.
My ship is returning to the front line.
We see which line Horner's taking.
Upgrade complete.
For fun, Eternus. Also, they tend to like to attack with air, so... Why not, essentially?
Who called in the fleet? Oh, really?
So yeah, that is 16 battlecruisers. That's a full line at that point. Oh, they decided to attack into the Hyperion. I think they're going to regret that decision.
I'm on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that wasn't the right call for them. What's getting in the way of the direct route? Suspiciously nothing. Oh well. Kill everything. Just sweep. Just sweep. This is why they call me the janitor, by the way.
Yes, Commander.
Just gotta clean up some trash here really quick. Don't mind me.
We're losing.
I keep killing them before they can finish talking. I almost feel bad about it. Yeah, no, that would make perfect sense to me, Bledgeville. Like, really.
Nova here.
Patching you through.
Say again?
Nuclear launch detected.
Really? Really? Okay.
I'm on it. Whatever that means.
Base
Hyperion?
is under attack.
Corner? Maybe... Okay, whatever.
It's a trap.
Got it.
I almost feel bad about that.
Executing.
Big. Patching you through.
Oh god, that didn't even stop the Hyperion. Nuked the Hyperion in the face, and he was just like, yeah, we can take it.
Move the Xanthos out to strike a Gorgon shortly.
Complete.
It's a trap.
Our systems are critical. We have to retreat.
Protect the Xanthos!
It's our only hope for petty, spiteful revenge?
There isn't much time.
It's not really much of a battle cry, I'm not gonna lie to you.
The Xanthos is getting into position for an attack, Nova.
Take it slow.
You know, I just realized that the little troops that they're using instead of Marines are actually the soldiers that Mengsk uses in co-op mode. As much fun as this is, I should probably not let that base fall over. So let's go do that.
Yes,
Our weapons are down. It's time to go back.
Big job, huh?
Status report.
What's wrong with
Execute.
you? I don't feel like losing a ship, so we're gonna take this easy. Proving at least one of us can learn our lesson. Just the one.
Oh, really?
So, multi-turrets, escalating turrets, multiple defense spots which reinforce themselves and have good defenses, multiple enemy entrenchments, standard pressure, Hyperion attack pushing for you. This is effortlessly a triple positive mission. Might even qualify for a quad, because we've had several quads in the Nova missions. These are very, very good missions, as I've said several times.
Yes, Commander.
And
Patching you through.
hi.
Take it slow.
So you fought your way here. You're a good soldier, Nova. But so am I.
Are you?
Nova, the Xanthos is transforming. This combat mode was classified, even from me. I don't know what you'll be facing.
It's a trap.
Well,
Base is under attack.
Take it slow.
Send in the reserves. This ghost will fight us to the end. I still need more forces. If we fail today, we lose the Dominion. All personnel...
lady, you have lost the Dominion.
Everything for this.
Goodbye.
It's a trap.
It is done. Preliminary scans show some injuries among the crew, but Davis is still alive. However, the communications channels are chaotic. She hasn't spoken since the crash.
Just send me her last known coordinates. I'll find her myself.
Of course.
I'll be honest. This isn't as bad as I remembered it. But
Davis should be just ahead. She seems to be alone.
Good.
November Terra. I knew your family when you were a child. We were all part of the same circles back then. The same side.
The past doesn't matter.
yeah, also, just to be very clear, that's a very good old days argument. The past she's talking about is when the old families were in charge of the Terran Confederacy, which is exactly as bad as it sounds. Tells you a lot about this woman.
I have made mistakes, and I will pay for them. I know why you're coming here. You think you're going to do the right thing.
Acknowledged.
What you don't realize is that if you do this, you are no better than I am.
Disagree.
Think on that before you act. I will say no more.
Consider it done.
By the way, you notice the objective is to kill her. So, we can't mind control her. And I even had that equipped just for this. By the way, yeah, you'll like this cockpit, this bridge for this ultra mech. Jesus. It's kind of hard to tell, but you can actually see, it's actually a picture, but you can see, like, the platform out there through the windows. It's really cool.
Acknowledged. Go to hell.
Nova, what have you done?
Taking revenge. Not that I'm aware of, Ghost Rider.
I know you're there, Nova. You deliberately disobeyed the Emperor's orders. But then I knew him before he was the Emperor, when he was only the Crown Prince, and his primary interest was artifacts. I joined his Mobius Foundation dreaming that I'd invent things to astound the sector. Instead, I destroyed my career. This is the only life I have left. The same as you.
Why are you telling me this?
The crew is loyal to you alone, Nova.
Why?
We will go wherever you lead.
The Dominion's always going to have problems. They'll need us to solve them. Our own way.
Good fortune, Braglin.
And finally, an update on the attempted coup by the Defenders of Man. Tensions have subsided in the Dominion after Emperor Valerian regained control of the government and released all of the related evidence in a public report. Our polls show that most people feel the Emperor was justified in using lethal force against General Davis, given the danger she presented.
What should we do about Nova? Let her go. For now.
Also, I wouldn't keep pictures of Mengsk on the wall. Just a personal opinion thing there. The end. Starcraft 2 has been a labor of love for us, driven by loyalty and support from our players. Thank you for pushing us to new heights and for joining us on this unforgettable journey. GL, HF, Glaff. We'll see you on the battlefield. And that is the end of Starcraft. And may continue to be the end. For an unknown period of time. Oh no, they did, Sirius Black. But then they didn't. So you have to understand production lineup here. The Ghost thing was lined up and designed for the purposes of this being a launching board for future mission packs. In fact, we know what their plans were because we've seen design documents for them at this point. They had huge plans for the mission packs. Like, in other words, you know how Diablo 3 got years of support with new content periodically? That was the idea. They were just going to keep pushing out new stories and new stories into StarCraft 2's engine because they already had a great engine. Yeah, exactly, Ace. So they already had the engine, they already had the player base, and they already had the vehicle. And they were going to do at least something with Alarak and at least something with the Zerg that we don't know any details about. And of course, Nova was going to keep going as well, obviously, because she's just been given the "you're an RPG protagonist now" shove. But by the time they got to the point of actually producing this final mission pack, they had seen the writing on the wall. In fact, I believe some of the developers had already bailed on Blizzard by the time this mission pack came out, and the rest of them would not be particularly far behind them. So that's probably the purpose behind that quote is, yeah, we see what's happening. It's been real. Peace. So, that's an outro for the game. And this is not a technically. This is not me trying to give this game more negatives. That's a crappy outro on the narrative side of things. That's junk. It wraps up way too quickly. It has ideas and executes them awful. Like you get the concept of what they were going for. You know, they wanted to have, like, the vigilante. They were trying to make Batman, for God's sakes, in the Starcraft universe. And like I said, make the PC, make Nova into a PC and have her launch off into her own adventures. And yeah, exactly. This feels like the first draft of a script. You see the ideas, but none of it comes together. And it's way too rushed. Yeah, maybe, yeah, more to the Punisher. That's valid. That's valid. Like, the crew is loyal to you, Nova. Why? Exactly? That's the kind of thing that would make sense in Mass Effect when we spend months working together. After, also, by the way, Shepard was not new to that ship or to those people, so, you know, they already had years of prior experience and loyalty. So, yeah, the Mass Effect crew, the Normandy crew picking Shepard over the Council, sure. The Nova mission people, who, by the way, have no names other than, I can't even think of his guy, Science Guy, former Mobius guy, being loyal to her. Huh? Yeah, who's the crew, exactly? Where's this coming from? Rigel, thank you. I actually like him. It's just, huh? And, you notice that they just kind of dropped the stone story thread, like just immediately. It's like, hey, I've got to save his life, and then we'll deprogram him, and then he just leaves the narrative instantly, so the Tal'Darim can attack. And then Alarak is like, huh, and then he just leaves the narrative. Like, I'm telling you, this was such an obvious launching point. But again, I'm not going to give negatives for the fact that it never continued, I'm just lamenting it. I'm going to give negatives for the fact that it sucked. Yes, it was actually her. In one of the more clever story bits of this entire arc, Nova herself realized she was about to get mind-wiped and left a message in her visor for herself. Well, you see, Davis was loyal to Arcturus because he was the only guy willing to plumb the icy depths. That's just its new term. That's what we're calling it from now on. Now, what's funny is I'm not actually joking. By all accounts, she really was just my, what do you call it? Not my waifu. Senpai, please notice me. Whatever that's called. Why did the Blizzard writing time Kui? Is that a code phrase? Are you activating my programming, Elizar? Is that what's going on here? Why did the Blizzard writing time team quit? Hang on, let me look up some dates. But so I think what you're actually asking is, why did the StarCraft 2 development team quit? To which the answer is, because they weren't allowed to develop StarCraft further. They were disallowed from continuing to do the mission packs I just mentioned. They were disallowed from doing any future games or any side games. StarCraft was not getting greenlit. Nothing StarCraft related was getting greenlit. And that's why there hasn't been anything StarCraft related since, I believe, Mengsk, as a co-op commander, was the most recent thing, which was years ago. There's been nothing since then. And no, I don't expect there'll be anything tomorrow either. So, yeah, I would quit too, to be totally honest with you. It's like, hey, imagine you're my boss, Eleazar. Eleazar, hey, I've got this great idea for a Starcraft game. And you say, no. And I'm like, okay, I've got this great idea for a Starcraft story. No. I've got this great idea for a Starcraft mission pack. No. Okay. Yes, BlizzCon is tomorrow. We will be covering it. We'll be covering the opening ceremony live. That'll essentially become the second shift of tomorrow's stream. Exactly. You don't need content. You can just have repeatable content. Hey, the Duke. What is up? Okay, so 151. If they announce another mobile game tomorrow other than Warcraft Rumble, hang on. What can I punch? What can I break? What do I have that is not valuable that I could break on camera? I don't have a lot of non-valuable things. Just... Got it. I've got it. I'll take one of these rice crackers and snap it in two. That's stupid. I haven't had time, the Duke, but I've heard nothing but good things about them. And a couple of my friends have played them. Pretty much, yeah, that's the point of the opening ceremony. They won't really announce... There's no announcements that are going to happen outside of the opening ceremony. There will be clarifications and additional information outside of the opening ceremony. But any news will come from the opening ceremony, and that's what we're covering. As like a news channel thing. No, exactly, Blade Javal. There's nothing of substance that's going to happen tomorrow. I guarantee it. I will take that cracker and eat it if I'm wrong. All right, now, let me do my job. How long was this game? Let's see here. Print out a picture of Bobby Kotick. Well, we're a little bit past procedural generation stuff. So, what is the current trend? I mean, other than Mobage, which, yeah, so there you go, Starcraft Mobage. Starcraft Immortal, that's what's going to be next. You actually play as an immortal. Kong, Kong, Kong. But every step, you have to pay an additional 3 cents. The game has tons of backtracking and huge swaths of nothing. So you just gotta step. I mean, playing as an immortal would be cool, but in a mobile game? And only $10 to reset your barrier cooldown? Man, this is a long friggin' game. 63.74 hours. Could someone do me a favor and look up how long the D3 run was, please? See, they would never charge you per step. They would just functionally charge you per step. You would have fuel, and every step would cost fuel, and the only way to refuel fuel would be to either wait a couple of days for it to recharge manually, or you could buy a fuel pack. Only 50 cents per fuel pack. One fuel pack is enough to cover you for multiple quests and multiple actions at the beginning of the game, but the further into the game you get, the longer you have to walk. And so it gets to the point where you need like 5 fuel packs just to get from one spot to another. 29 hours, Jesus. This is literally twice as long, over twice as long as D3. God damn. 10 days. Wow. I knew this would be a big one. Did someone kill the bot? Actually, someone did kill the bot. Hang on. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, you could buy an upgraded gas tank. That costs real money, obviously. I mean, duh, of course it costs. Why wouldn't you charge that? You'd be leaving money on the table if you didn't charge the consumers extra money for something. Because surface level economic comparisons are all what we're all about. Reminds me, if you mind if I go off camera? You mind if I go off camera for a second? Off topic for a second while I do some paperwork here. It reminds me of something that happened back in the comic book era. When I say the comic book era, I mean the 80s and early 90s. The merchandising was making a ridiculous amount of money, right? Especially for Marvel, specifically. So they're making tons and tons of money, and that's really cool. But the really strange thing was the comic books themselves were actually losing money. Now, if you have a functional brain, you understand that this is an acceptable circumstance. Because you kind of need the comic books to keep going to serve as the source material and to continue having the saturation and understanding and development of the franchise and of the media, so that you can then merchandise it. What do you think people back then did instead? It was during that era, yes. It was us. You know, they were trying to turn comic books into profitable. They were trying to penny pinch in order to make comic books profitable. So cheaper paper, less money spent on editing, less money spent on coloring and printing, and just making the comics themselves much, much cheaper, which naturally killed interest in the comics themselves and made them make even less money. Because of course it freaking did. I know hindsight is 20/20 and all that, but Jesus Christ, every now and again, if I could just get egotistical for 5 seconds, every now and again I wonder if I'm the only person who understands what economics actually frickin' means. You morons. Okay, we're done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ladies and gentlemen, this game has gotten 37 doodad positives. I'm not sure any game will ever surpass that isn't WoW. In fact, you want to hear some funny little figures as I kind of tally some of this stuff up here? Actually, no, I'll save it. I'll save it. Hang on. Let me finish this. Let me finish this. And writing negatives. That sounds about right. Pretty much Blizzard standard at this point. Hi, Tara. I'm glad the power has returned. I hope it stays returned. I'll keep my thoughts about electric infrastructure to myself. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12... 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. $27.37. We actually did talk about that, Roman Kira. Briefly, but we did talk about it. We talked about all the boring topics. It was great. We had a great polemic day. Probably one of the better ones we've ever had. Two VODs worth. It's crazy we had that much interest, that many questions. Yeah, that is actually a record. We've never had one that long. On your motherboard, physically, there's a little button. It looks like a little... Like a push switch, right? It should have either a little red or a little white light right next to it. That is what the button on the front of your case is actually triggering. So that is your option. Honestly, I'm a little surprised at how badly StarCraft 1 reviewed, and a little surprised at how well StarCraft 2 reviewed. I'll talk more about that in a minute. I didn't come up with a single gameplay negative to the Nova pack. Other than these stupid credits. I'm joking. Okay. I suppose that's true. I'm both surprised at how good and how bad StarCraft 1 was. Put simply, Vanilla scored better than I thought it was. And Brood War scored worse than I thought it would. Six negatives for fake drama. Oh, Protoss, no question. Well, no, actually, I'm going to take that back. I would say the worst campaign was actually Zerg. Brood War's Zerg campaign was just bad. It was just boring and sloggy, like, all at the same time. Most do, Ghost Rider. Like, I could see mine right there. That's why I looked over there when I was saying that to you. I don't know your model of motherboard, so I can't say that with total certainty. But they really should have that, yes. Even if it's something small and innocuous and this, like, kind of buried or whatever. In fact, my next piece of advice would be to Google your motherboard brand and look for Power Switch. Game? Game? Favorite campaign in StarCraft 2? Ooh. Well, I know mathematically, it's Wings of Liberty, followed very shortly by Legacy of the Void. I mean, it's one of those two. But I have to admit, I'm very torn on them. Ignore the review for a second. Wings was a lot more innovative in several ways. But Legacy was a lot more iterative. Legacy used a lot of the mission design maps and concepts from Wings and just kind of did them better. So Legacy is arguably the better one there, but I appreciate Legacy for what it is and Wings for what it introduced, if that makes any sense. I actually also like both stories pretty much equally. Wings is a very down-to-earth story that's about local politics and conflicts in the Terrans, which I've always found the most interesting narratively of the various factions. We were talking, I don't remember how long ago, about how I tend to prefer small-scale stories over large-scale stories. Call me in the minority here. I think Legacy is a good example of a large-scale story. I think they did a good job with it. They could have done a better job with it. Amon was garbage, for example. But I do think that the overall arc was good, and I did enjoy where they were going with it. So, I think I would actually probably swing a little bit towards Legacy overall. It's really close between the two, though. I do think that Heart of the Swarm causes issues in both directions, ironically. Which is a damn shame, because Heart also has some really fun missions. And, frankly, I've never had more fun playing as the Zerg than here. Like, they really, really nailed what it feels like playing as the Swarm. Yeah, exactly, Eternus. Heart is just fun to play, but it lags behind so hard on the narrative axis compared to the other two. So it can't put it as high up. Interesting idea, little Billy. What do we do with Legacy, then? Or do we not kill Mengsk in 2? Or in Heart? Hey, Yura. Whoops. Okay. I think that's everything for the story axis. Depends on how long this takes me, Roman Cure. This is a big review, and big reviews take a little bit longer to do the paperwork of than other reviews. So, we will see. If we do, we're starting Mario 64 DS, for those of you wondering. They've already done so, Wandering Doll. Twice. Neither of them are out yet, but preliminary reports are in, and it's all about the PvP stuff, so I haven't really been paying attention. Versus matches just do not engage me. It is a remake, Blade Ball, so yes. In point in fact, we were originally going to do that review because I would prefer to review the remake than the original, and it was then mandated. We'll decide, won't we, Blade Ball, throughout the review. It was then mandated that we play the original instead. You'll see what I mean. If you're not familiar with the DS version, you'll see. It is actually quite different. Even little stuff is different. Like, they went through and did an editing pass on every stage in the game. Different platforms, different encounters, different enemy AI, different everything. Stars are moved. Requirements for stars are changed. Blah, 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 blah. You'll see. I don't want to spoil too much. Yeah, Stormgate and Zero Space. Thank you, Chuck. I can never remember their damn names. Probably because I sort of stopped following them since both of them kind of pushed me away from them. We'll see. They're both in very big we'll see territory. Someone do me a favor, please, and remember the number 137. How replayable do we think StarCraft 2 is? Not really, Elizar, but I do like elemental stuff in general. I'm probably a little bit too cynical, Ace, but a lot of my negativity comes almost entirely on the financial side of things. The way both of them are trying to get their games funded is, and I have no better way to say this, scummy. And so that's never a good sign, in my opinion, you know? So I don't think this game deserves a third positive for replayability. There are obviously mechanical variances in the campaigns. There's the co-op mode, there's the skirmish mode, there's the tournament stuff, which cycles regularly. There's the weekly mutators on co-op mode. In other words, I think the second positive is actually a gimme. To be perfectly blunt, there's achievements, there's other achievements, there's other achievements. So yeah. The only thing that would make this a triple positive for replay is the co-op mode, to be perfectly blunt. And I've already given 86 separate positives for co-op mode, and I don't feel like double dipping there. I don't think it's justified. Well, that's the other side of things too, Ace. Now, granted, I know I'm in the minority in this, but I just have no interest in versus competitive multiplayer. And so I look at what they've been emphasizing in every press release, in every announcement, like when they had the Games Awards or the PC Gaming Show. What are they always talking about? The competitive side of things. So that just kind of bounces me off there too. I have no horse in this race, Tara. If StarCraft 2 is better than GTA 5, then it needs to be better than GTA 5. I can't put a finger on the scale, so to speak. I know you're joking, but I thought I'd point it out because some people have this weird opinion that I actually have like a desire for a game to score a particular thing. Like the goal is to get a game to score such a thing rather than to see what a game scores, right? And they're flipping it. Part of the reason we have this whole process is to accomplish exactly that. If I wanted to just say what's the best game ever, I honestly probably wouldn't say StarCraft 2. But this whole process may conclude that this is going to be our third ceiling breaker this year. Stop spamming me. Okay, so let me do some math really quick. See you around, Mr. Red. Have some fun. I meant to do that off camera. Whatever. I'll do this. Yep, it's everyone's least favorite thing. Ah. Yeah, there's a reason I usually leave some music going while I'm doing all this boring stuff. There's also a reason I try to do as much of this paperwork as possible off camera. $180. Yeah. So something somewhere in the formula is actually breaking. Otherwise, I already have numbers for you, and I'm trying to figure out where the formulas are breaking. This makes sense. I was doing some weird stuff earlier in the week trying to get the silver numbers going, so something somewhere has broken. I'm trying to figure out what. It might literally be that it's not designed for these kind of values. I might have to actually use the MMO formulas for this. That is something that might actually have to be a thing here. Because the MMO formulas are different in order to deal with the kind of volume that we're talking about here. Not when your formulas have to include negatives and positives, my command. That actually changes the math tremendously, and has in fact been always the biggest problem with getting the system working. Okay. That's okay, though, because what I can do is I'll just do a couple of these steps manually instead of relying on that. I mean, honestly, yeah, Roman cure, that kind of says something by itself. Okay, so 7, 8. Yeah, see, that's the issue there. Why is that returning a negative? Ah! Right, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, the problem is we use a bit of a standardizer step in the middle, essentially to compensate for positives and negatives. And at a certain point, that doesn't compensate anymore. Which means... I mean, honestly, ditto, Ace. I mean, I gave this game 19 gameplay negatives and 55 story negatives. And I know that doesn't probably mean anything to you, but that's a lot. There are entire games that don't get that many points. Like, total. On both sides, positive and negative. Although D3 had the same problem, if you're paying attention. There we go. Okay. Manual math done to compensate for the negative issue. We're good. So. Yeah! Savacom's aware of this too, because she actually was part of trying to help me compensate for the negative issue. And like I said, we came up with a bit of a jury rig, which just doesn't work at certain points. Yeah, no, it was much harder than it looks. The funny thing is, you really can just do the math manually and plug in the number manually like I just did, and it works exactly how it should. But obviously, that's not ideal to have to do that with every single game, so we had a jury rig fix in place, and that's just kind of... So let's see, Savacom donates towards punching myself in the face over and over and over. Towards Mercenaries, Playground of Destruction, FF14 Dawn Trail, and the Breath of Fire Brawl. Thank you, Savacom. I do always appreciate your support. No, it's cool. I can do it. Ugh. And I don't actually want to do damage. That's why I don't rotate the fist. If I want to hurt someone, that's when I do the rotation. So, you actually know what you're talking about. I pulled up some stats here to compare directly alongside it, right? So, Portal 2 was a 13-hour game with 51 pluses to story and 56 pluses to gameplay. It scored extremely well. It got a 372 golden number. Diablo 3 came out earlier this year, that is to say, reviewed earlier this year, 29-hour game, 73 pluses to story, 180 pluses to gameplay, at the time a record. That pushed out a 494 golden number. GTA 5 was 105 to story and 94 to gameplay. That broke the record again and pushed that up to 598 golden number. So that's kind of our range, right? Now, StarCraft 2 is longer than all of those, by quite a bit in some cases. So it has the bonus of maintaining quality, but it also has the detriment of having lower density. So, StarCraft 2, a 63-hour game, got 125 pluses to story, which is 1.96 pluses per hour, despite its length. That is a story positive ratio of 76%, which is honestly about average. In fact, it's actually lower than StarCraft 1's story ratio. Gameplay-wise, it destroyed everything with a 297. We all saw that coming. That's 4.5 pluses per hour, which also tracks. And this is the crazy part, an astonishing 94% ratio. To make that extremely clear, 94% of all points given to gameplay were positives. Yeah, I know, right? Ace? Leading to a golden number of, drumroll, please, $607. Now, for those of you not paying attention, that does beat GTA 5. Barely. That is only 9 points above GTA 5. And for those of you not aware how the scale works, on the positive side, 9-point variance is pretty small. That's just like one little step forward, right? So that is just barely inching out in front of GTA 5. But if I'm being totally honest, it makes sense. I've actually had a speech prepared in case it won. And I haven't written it down because I don't do that. But I do kind of have a speech designed here, because I want to share some facts with you. The review system is designed at its very core to kind of be built around the idea of the perfect game. In fact, the review system in its current format in many ways is based off of Mega Man. Just bear with me, okay? So if there's a level, a stage in Mega Man, the perfect Mega Man stage, the ideal, what the goal is, what the ceiling is that the stage should get a positive to gameplay, the visuals of the stage should get a positive to doodads and or brickwork, the enemies should get positives for being fun and interesting, the platforming, the side optional stuff, that kind of stuff should be positive, the weapon you get from the stage should be a positive, and the boss should be a positive, right? It's designed so that every single one of those elements of gameplay can and arguably should be good. We generally don't encounter that because this is real life. But I think the reason why StarCraft 2 has just beaten the brakes off of everything is specifically because of the fact that it does that, or at least as close to that as we've seen. Almost every single level, every mission in the entire game got at least one positive. And like if you look at where so much of the points are coming from, all of this makes sense. This is what should be in an RTS. This is how RTSs should be. Faction design, you know, their looks, their style, their feel, their music. Brickwork, the backgrounds should pop, the characters should be interesting, the cutscenes should be engaging. The doodads should be fantastic. The main story quest should at least be interesting. That's mission stuff, essentially. So the missions themselves should be cool and have cool events. The voice acting should help sell it. And that's all on the narrative side of things. Then on the gameplay side of things, it should have the optional modes that retain it, which in this case it has 2, or more like 5. But, you know, it's got co-op mode, it's got the skirmish mode, it's got the tournament mode, it's got the challenge mode, etc., etc., etc. And every single mission should be a positive, and there's a lot of positives. Remember I asked you to remember that number 137 earlier? 137 positives to this game are just for mission design. And I stand by that. The music should pop. The quality of life should be good. The game should control well. The tutorialization should be good. The units should be well designed. All of this is exactly what it should be. So it actually makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense that StarCraft 2 is just destroying everything. How many games have we covered in any given genre that have actually done what the review system is arguably designed to do? To reward a game for managing each of the frickin' cylinders and firing on all of them simultaneously, right? This is an extraordinarily polished game with a tremendous amount of work, effort, and care put into it, which plays like a dream today. How old is this game again? You get my point. So, that number does not actually surprise me, if I'm being totally honest. Yeah, no, it is. It is a legendary game. It is a legendarily good game. I recommend it to literally everyone. Even if you're not super into RTSs, there's casual difficulty to just kind of enjoy the story. 2015. This game is 8 years old. I lived in a different state then. No, I lived 2 states ago. Excuse me. When this game came out. Well, when Legacy came, when this game finished coming out. Yeah, I was gonna say, Wings, I lived 3 states ago. And that was 13 years ago. See you around here, SS. Have a good one. Thank you for joining me for all this. And thank you all of you for joining me. This has been a fantastic trip. If I could have one little anecdote, I'll put this in the post video as well. If I could have one tiny little anecdote at the end of all of this. A 64-hour game never bored me once. And this is part of why I emphasize that the length of games isn't really the part that matters. It's the density of the games. It's what they do with the games. Yeah, compared to StarCraft 1, which is half this length, and I couldn't wait to be done with it. In fact, I started cheating to speed up StarCraft 1 because I was so bored of the final Zerg missions, which is when we finally pulled the cheating flag, or pulled the cheating trigger. By contrast, this game, I mean, I kind of wanted to play it more than I did, and I'm just kind of bowing to the will of schedule and time, because nobody wants to just sit here and watch me achievement hunt, right? So, yeah, no. This is the best game I have ever reviewed. Now, one final thing at the end here. We're done! No, I'm sorry. One final thing at the end here. Do you think any game can now beat this one? So, for those of you who don't actually know what the point of that question is, when Diablo 3 earlier this year, like, set the new ceiling and broke the records, it was like, okay, wow, so D3 is on top. Do you think anything can beat D3? And people tossed out a couple of ideas and theories. One of which was mine, was Grand Theft Auto 5. Then we played Grand Theft Auto 5, and lo and behold, GTA 5 did actually beat D3 by a decent amount, actually. And so then we beat D3, and it's like, okay, well, do we think anything could beat D3 and or beat GTA 5? Excuse me. And I actually got a lot of comments on the YouTube side of things because I put up a question there as well about that. And most people's reactions were games we've already reviewed, or games that they thought might, beat it, and I disagree with, like, say, for example, Red Dead Redemption 2, which I don't think can challenge that. But the one suggestion, and me and my friend Pax both said, was that StarCraft 2 is the only thing that might be in punching range of the top. And you'll notice it still only barely beat GTA 5. So now, what the hell can beat StarCraft 2? That isn't an MMO. What else is there out there that could actually surpass StarCraft 2? I don't think FF6 can come in punching range of this insanity. Final Fantasy VI will probably have an extremely high density, and will probably score very high as a result of that. But I do not think that it's going to be able to beat this kind of score. 600 is insanity. Exactly, Geluto. Exactly. Yeah, FF6 and Chrono Trigger are kind of like the only ones that might be in punching distance, and I don't think they're going to. I really don't. I look forward to being wrong on this, but I do not think they're going to beat this. I don't think they're going to come in range of this. They just don't have certain... The voice acting, for example, is just not going to be on the same level. It's not going to have, like, 137 pluses to level design, for example. The thing that will push those games so high is because of the fact that, like, FF6 and Chrono Trigger are, like, 10-hour games. And so that's going to be, like, 10 pluses per hour kind of a situation. And Eleazar has said Warcraft 3 several times. There's no way in hell. No offense, but, like, Warcraft 3 just isn't on the same level as StarCraft 2, first of all and foremost. Warcraft 3 is one game and one expansion. StarCraft 2 is one game. Lots of optional side modes, which will not count for Warcraft 3 because they don't really exist anymore. And 2 expansions and a mission pack. And on top of that, and I'm going to be very blunt about this, StarCraft 2 is Warcraft 3 better. Warcraft 3 literally was a stepping stone for making StarCraft 2. So, no, there's no way that going back to a previous and worse version of the game is going to score better. I'm sorry. Undertale? Undertale's going to be an extremely short game. Half-Life 2? I don't think it's going to, personally, but we'll see. Portal 2 is still up there. In fact, I think Portal 2 is still our 4th highest at the moment. Where's the list? There's the list. Where's the top? Yeah, Portal 2 is still our 4th highest game we've ever reviewed. So Portal 2 is still way up there. But it's also still 100 below D3, which puts it 200 below the Kings, which is GTA 5 and SC2. Like, I'd love to say Mario Odyssey is going to be the king, but that's going to slant way too hard on the gameplay, I think. Then again, StarCraft 2 slanted really high on the gameplay, so who knows? That actually might be a thing. So, Mario Odyssey is a maybe. And that's it. That's all I got. That's not an MMO, like Evo suggested, because WoW will beat this score. WoW's going to beat everything score. Of course it is. We all know this. But MMOs use a different scoring system and a different formula and are reviewed a little bit differently. So MMOs are different and therefore doesn't actually count. WoW will win the MMO list, which you'll notice I keep separate on the website for a reason. Anyways, so this has been a trip. I have got some work to do. I don't know when I'm going to be done, but when I'm done, I'll come back, play some Mario. I'll see you guys.